Okay, learning how to do this here. I am a first timer of this live talk chats, let alone the camera. Yeah, that's the big main reason why I'm here now. Hey there, Miss Ashley. Peace and love to you, sweets. It's cool how they got the little wave notions there. All right. So far, you're the only person that has arrived. And I'm going to begin anyway, because I am going to put this on YouTube, my YouTube channel. So thank you for showing up, Miss A. So wanted to ask everyone who was in attendance or who is actually watching this, whether now or later, to really think about what fear is and what it means to you, and also think about what in your life that you have been fearful of, or walking in fear in, or of, one of those words. And then also I want you to think about what have you been procrastinating on accomplishing because of the fear of what you think is going to happen, things you've been in your head about. Really concentrate, be honest with yourself, and answer that question, because this is important. In order for you to take on this challenge, you've got to be honest with yourself. What are you in constant thought about? What are you playing over and over in your head? What story are you telling yourself to be the truth that's prohibiting you from moving forward? So think of those things. And if you have not already, I know in a previous post I asked that if you were going to join, to go ahead and create a list of 5 things that you have been procrastinating on and 5 things that you have been in fear of. So I see Miss Ashley is here. Ash, have you noticed within yourself 5 things that you have really been fearful of, and are you willing to share that? You don't have to, because that is a very sensitive and private thing. But if you can list 1 to say what it is, so I can use it possibly as an example to help you through that. And as you're doing that or deciding you're going to do it, I'll wait for your answer. I can give my story. So my thing with fear has been about being more from behind the scenes in my business, being more upfront and personable when it comes to recording. And probably about a year and a half ago, I've been told you are needing to be on camera. You have messages to give to people and you need to be on camera. And my fear of cameras, not my fear, my resistance, because it's not a fear, I take pictures just fine. My resistance to live camera, no, that's probably the real deal right there, has been stalling me big time. And so if you haven't watched the Fear Can Kill video, please go and check that out. That motivated me majorly. It was such a deep and impactful message that I couldn't avoid it anymore. There is no reason for me to kill my own destiny by allowing fear to portray itself and be in the way of that destiny, because I'm in control of that. And so I'm going to actually read what was channeled that night so that we can have a clear understanding. And so Miss Ashley says, moving back to LA away from family and how it was going to affect her daughter negatively, there are more opportunities that can push both of them forward, and you are afraid to fail again in regards to that decision. And that's completely understandable. It is understandable to be fearful of falling, and I've been in that channel of fear of failing. And when you get so far, what I'm noticing is, what more do you have to lose? When you've lost so much already, the only thing left is to keep moving forward. There is no looking back. There's no being in your head. You know what I'm saying? And I think you probably, because last we talked, Miss Ashley, you had already moved back to LA, so this might be past tense and you've probably been past all of this for you, but I'm hoping the next person that reads this understands that sometimes the fear of failure, which is one of the more common things, is the one thing that we are really in our head about. It's not about failing. You've already failed once, twice, 3 times. And it's not really a fail either. It's really a lesson. It's not, we look at failure as a plummet. It's like, it's like, it defines us, but it doesn't define us. It doesn't mean that we aren't capable of moving forward and having something more for ourselves. It just means that there was something that we needed to learn within that moment. So that's a whole nother level, and actually a whole nother video and subject. So she says that she's now in Temecula now, and she wants to move back into the city. And I'd say go for it. I know what your market is, because you have been a client of mine, and so I understand what your issue with moving to the city is, and I also know where your blessing is, and your blessing is in the city. So you need to move. You need to go ahead and make that happen for yourself. And it's comfortable, maybe, I get that, but certainly follow the blessing, because that's the one thing that fear will do to us. It will stop us from receiving the remainder of our blessing. We may take one step and we just stop and think, oh, this is it. I'm done. I've received everything I can receive. This is the big ticket blessing. But that was just a minute level of it, and it was a whole lot more waiting, but we stopped, and so I go all in that to say, do it, yeah, absolutely understand that. Miss Ash, let me know if you follow me on that, and if you were able to relate there in regards to that. And also let me know if this music is too loud. That's one thing that was super important. I didn't want the music to be too loud. And where it is, I'm looking for now. Here it is. No, it's not. Oh, there it is. Just once. Okay. And so, just quickly, I'm going to read what was channeled a couple of weeks ago. So I was up, the story goes, I was up really late, and I was on the phone with a family member I hadn't spoken to in a while. And a couple of moments in our talk, there was some reflections that were taking place, to where it was like, wow, I do that too. Like, oh, I'm fear. I see the fear, and I see where I do that too, and I've got to stop doing that. I'm kind of checking myself, right? And so I get off the phone, and then my higher self comes in and it's like, yeah, because fear, it'll kill your courage, it'll kill your dreams, it'll kill your vibration. And I was like, damn, that's deep, because that is exactly what would happen. And so if you've seen the video, I explained all of this, but I am going to go ahead and read it right now. So it's let me turn this down a little bit. So, fear can kill your courage, your dreams, your vibration, your motivation, your innovation, your inspiration, your perception, your possibilities, your God-given abilities, your drive, your thinking, your sleeping, your eating, your receiving, your believing, your knowing, your growing. If allowed, fear will kill your very existence. Fear is always dressed to kill. You will not know when it's coming, but you will know when it has showed up. Fear is a dirty, deceiving, deceptive delusion. And I don't know how my phone just turned like that by itself. Fear is a dirty, deceiving, deceptive delusion, and it will give you hallucinations. Hallucinations of false evidence appearing real. It will manipulate your will to live if you allow it. So how do you win? You take them as they come. You deal with them instead of procrastinating them. You refocus your attention, and you set different intentions. You begin to be more disciplined, and you stop fucking around with its cousin, procrastination. Place the spirit of fear with inside of an infinite Pandoric detention. Stop right there for just a second. When she said Pandoric detention, like, is Pandoric even a word? Sure enough, it is. So Pandoric detention. You think Pandora's box and how you put something in there and you can't open it back up and let it back out again because it's suspended there, you know. Anyway, super, just amazing to me. Where was I? So this facade of fear has you believing that you are powerless, but yet instead you must recognize that you are powerful, that you were made in the mold of God's, and therefore you are beyond the current comprehension of your power. Stop letting the fear drive you. Stop letting it stall you. Has it not hindered you enough? Let the God within you take the wheel and show you how it is to be done. Signed sincerely, truly, and in love, your higher self. So as she had me to dictate, well, she dictated and I channeled it out and typed it out, I kept shuddering because I knew where exactly she was talking about to me, of how fear of doing videos and fear of talking to people and being on stage and was killing everything that was meant for me, everything that I came prepackaged with delivering. So that means whatever messages that somebody's spirit needs to hear, which of course, when we are showing up to be exactly who we are to be, and when we show up to deliver the message that came within us, that we signed up to give to the world, when we show up and do it, we get blessings too, because we were being obedient to our souls, obedient to our mission, obedient to our Creator, etc., etc. And so I recognized that I needed to be more courageous about facing this fear. And so even up to right now, so many life instances almost stood in the way of me actually doing this, and I almost allowed it to win. But I am a woman of my word, one, and I think that is why they pushed me so much to do this. Like, you have to do it, put a picture up, etc., etc. And so that's my story. Now your story may be different, but the whole point of this fear challenge is to motivate you, to inspire you, and to let you know you're not alone. Whatever it is you're fearing, together, through this social media, what is it called? Anyway, through social media and through our connection here, we can go ahead and work towards it together. We can cheer each other on when we have something that we want to celebrate. So what I'm going to ask for you to do is, if you're going to be a part of the fear challenge, to be very clear with yourself that you're really, 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 really willing and ready to do it, and that you're going to do what's going to be necessary for you to do it. One. Two, definitely come back to the page as often as possible and check out the motivation that's going to be there directly for people who are looking for the inspiration of conquering their fears. So every day, or every other day or so, I'm going to post up something just to kind of check in, to kind of check you on where you are with your fear challenge. But more importantly, again, going back to what I said in the beginning, you've got to know what your fears are, what it is that you are uncomfortable with, and then make that list. And so we're going to take them one at a time. This is a 28-day challenge. It's not something you're going to be able to do in a week. You're going to have to commit to it long enough so that you can actually accomplish these things, because a lot of times we have other things in life. So for instance, let's say you have a fear of heights. You have work, you have family, you have other obligations, but maybe, to conquer that fear of heights, you've got to, let's say, go extreme. Let's say you go skydiving. Okay, I'm going to go skydiving. That's going to be how you overcome that fear. But I don't want you to feel like you got to get it done in a week, because that kind of really accompanies the fear even more and helps you to find a reason not to do it. And so we're going to take one thing at a time off of that list. I do know that 28 days is actually more leaning at 4 weeks instead of 5. So we'll just take it as you can. Earlier, right before I posted this live video, I did a posting for the fear challenge. And so if you go through those pictures, you'll see what I'm talking about. Each one of them is going to talk about what fear is, how to overcome it, what fearless means, and then there's also a process that you can follow. It's going to be a step-by-step. So what you'll do is you'll put, I wonder if I can pull it up, and then that would be awesome. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can turn this around. Oh wait, no, it's chopped off, so you can't see it. Let me open it up in the actual app. Thank you for your patience. It won't. I promise I'm so not prepared for this here as far as technologically. Next time I'm going to do it in Zoom. I think that will help me a whole lot. Let me clean this off. All right. So the fearless process. Can you see it okay, Miss Ashley? Hope so. Okay, I'm sure you can because I can see it. All right, so this fearless process, let's see if I get a little closer, it's clear. So here you would put, what is your fear? Whatever that fear is, you would want to write on a piece of paper what the fear is. Then you want to ask yourself, do you know why you have this fear? Because that's important. The why is just as important as anything else. Once you can answer yes, you go here, or no, you go there. So it's a flow chart. Pretty much everybody's familiar with it. But each part you would go through with each fear. So each week you want to come back to it and kind of understand where you are with it. Are you ready to move forward with it, or are you not? And that's you being honest with yourself. But this is kind of prompting you to be honest with yourself. All right? So let's see if I can turn this back around now. All right, so you'll go back through that process each time you have a new fear that you want to tackle. If you have something that you are needing some assistance in working through because it's too deeply embedded, I would definitely say you want to schedule a healing session with me, and I can help to push you through that. Yes, inside the yellow boxes. So let me go back to it so that way. Okay. What's your fear? And then you list it. Do you know why you have this fear? And if you say yes, then I would say, great. And then you are ready to free yourself of this fear and begin living the life that you deserve. Actually, that's the question. Are you ready? Are you ready? So then you would say yes or no. Yes, I'm ready to do this. All right. So then you go here. You are on the freedom. So you are on the road to certain freedom. What's stopping you from following the next steps? And so then from there, most times it is ourselves. It's no one but us. And so that's why I put me there. If it's nothing that's stopping you and that's you being realistic, then you would come down here. And it's kind of like an activator. So this model is actually even charged with a little bit of energy to kind of feed into you and help clear out some things and not have you kind of living in denial as you're working through it. Okay. Now let's just say that you are you do not know what this fear is that you're dealing with. You don't know where it's coming from or why you have it, I should say. So then you would go to the next box, and it would just kind of ask you, are you ready to relinquish it anyway? Because sometimes you don't really have to know what it is to let it go. Sometimes you just have to be brave enough and say, you know what, F it. I don't care if I get, whatever. I've got to let it go anyway, right? So it's either do or die, right? So if you say yes to that, then you've already moved ahead to the next step. If you say you're really not ready to let go because you don't know what it is, then that is, again, when I would say, hey, you probably want to schedule a session because you're deeply attached or it's deeply embedded. And so because I touched it, it's all out of sorts here, but it looks better on the actual, it looks much better and clear if you go back to the Instagram posting that I did around 6:10-ish. Yeah. And so, do we have any questions so far, Miss Ash, since you are active here? Before I go into the next part, I want to give some affirmations. You're very welcome, sweets. All right, and so one thing that is very important in this is understanding where this is coming from. First of all, fear is not something that we make up to a certain degree. Fear is something that's naturally within us, and it does have a place. But just like, let's say, bacteria, we need bacteria to keep our immune system on point. If the bacteria gets out of control, then that's when you have this domino ripple effect that takes place, and it is causing havoc in your life. And so fear is the same way. Fear is really just something that's in place to make you aware of what's going on, to make you realize where you are. But it's not really meant to stop you from doing anything next. But we kind of get stuck in that gear shift of action and inactionable. I'm just going to say right here, because I don't know what's on the other side. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't even foretell what's going to happen. So I'm going to just stay right here because I know what's going on here. And that is not what we were built to do. That is not what we were meant to do. And that is not what we're supposed to do. That means that fear has run amok and has manipulated the purpose of our lives, essentially. Okay? And so, in some of my readings and in some of my channelings, I kind of understood that fear is really just an emotion that stems from within us, and most times it's in our head. You know how people say, I'm just living in my head. But you're not supposed to live in your head. You're supposed to live out there. You're supposed to be following through on the mission statement that was handed down to your soul when you came to earth. That is part of your purpose. But when you stop and you go into a standstill and you go into the stagnant mode, you're not moving. And so you've got to move past the fear. But fear is housed within our body, and so you've got to tackle it. And so fear is in your root chakra, your base chakra. It's right in your perineal area, the base of your spine in the back, and in the front it is in your groin area. When you work through your fear energy there, it will allow all of your other energy to move. So this means your self-courage, your creativity, your love, your being able to voice yourself. But until you do so, you will stay in that first gear, because your fear, your root chakra, is your first gear. All right? So keeping that in mind, there are a couple of things you can do to kind of help your root chakra and to help the fear to be dissipated. The root chakra's color is red. Sometimes it is also brown. YouTube has an array of music that you can listen to, preferably 326. Solfeggio music helps to break up any stagnant fear that is keeping you from moving forward. wearing the color red, specifically why I wore the color red today, to help kind of ignite that subconsciously, but wearing it also helps you on a day-to-day basis. So a bracelet, a necklace, even a stone or a crystal like a garnet, which is red, a ruby. If you have a ruby ring, for instance, you can wear that. But anything red will help to move that about. Again, listening to the music will help move things around. And so tonight I do want to do a little bit of chakra clearing of the root chakra. I'm also going to clear away and cut away a lot of the things that are chained to your fear, to give you a clean slate that you are working through. And a clean slate, I'm sorry, I have this message that keeps breaking up my stuff. It's going to give you a clean slate so that you can work through the fear that you have been encountering, because sometimes it can make you a little asthmatic. It can be a little debilitating, and so I completely understand of that, because I am experiencing it my own self in many different ways. And so that will be probably within the next 5 to 10 minutes that we'll do the meditation for that. But there are 2 other things I want to mention that you can do, and that is being in gratitude. Being grateful for where you are and what you have and what you can do in that fear. So let's just say my fear of being on camera is really grounded in me being in my head thinking that I'm not capable, I'm going to fumble, my message is not going to get across, really kind of silly things that my ego implants and makes me feel like I can't do, when that's not the case at all. And so to help myself through that, I do a lot of energy healing. I kind of got off track with what I was getting at there. I do a lot of energy healing, but I also stay in gratitude that I am even able to, first of all, breathe. I'm here and I have something inside of me to give. And I'm grateful that I was even granted to be the one to give it, whatever that may be. And so instead of being in fear of how it's going to come out, just get it out, is now how I'm able to move through that because of that gratitude. It humbles you, when you really kind of come down to it. So another way to work through it is affirmations. And so I wrote a couple of affirmations. I'm hoping that you can find yourself using them frequently. With each breath, okay, I want you to breathe in and breathe out and say the affirmations. I breathe in victory, and I breathe out fear. I breathe in victory. I breathe out fear. And as you really breathe out, really feel the energy, the anxiety, the frustration, all of those things, really feel it releasing out of your mouth. See it, feel it, just know that it is leaving your body. And just keep saying it until your brain kind of gets on board, and your ego even gets on board with it, because sometimes it's the ego and it's not necessarily anything else that's making you so apprehensive. Another one you can do is I hold to my destiny and I let go of my fear. Now this is a big one, because sometimes, we know that we deserve more. We know that we are capable of more. And so this knowing of our destiny will propel us and compel us even to keep going. Knowing that you have something that's meant for you. You want to attain it because you know that it belongs to you. So saying that, I hold to my destiny and I let go of fear, will really help to move you through it. And this last one is a little bit long, so I really suggest doing this during meditation, and I'm hoping that you find yourself with pen and pad to write this down. I breathe in light. I breathe in love. Okay. I breathe in light. I breathe in love. I breathe out darkness. And I release any energy that is prohibiting my success. And so, let me say it again. I breathe in light. I breathe in love. I breathe out darkness. And I release any energy that is prohibiting my success. And so when you say that, I really want you to breathe in and breathe out. Be active with it. You know, I don't know what happened there. Allow yourself to be fully active in it. Okay. All right. Ashe. All right, so I'm just making sure I covered everything there and make sure I give you everything to you. A good book that I did want to suggest for you all to read is a book that kind of caught me off guard on my Kindle when I came across it, but when I listened to it, it was perfect. So the book is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Excellent book. You can't miss it. Bright orange. You can find it on Kindle. It is Amazon's top book. You will find yourself being able to connect with that book and help you move through your fears. And so I find myself sometimes listening to it again and again to reiterate those things that I'm allowing to, that's right, that are allowing me, or not allowed, that has stood in the way of me, going ahead and moving ahead. All right, so I'm going to ask you guys to hold on for me for just a second. I need to grab me something to drink. I did not come prepared to be parched. Give me just a second. My sincere apologies, ladies, and thank you for your patience. Also went to grab my charger. Oops. Okay. How do you work through fear of someone else? About someone else? Okay. Well, to be honest with you, Ash, that's not something that I think. Now, I just went through that actually with my daughter, my teenage daughter. I'm going to be very transparent for just a second. So last week, my teenage daughter has decided that she wants to get her GED and does not want to finish school. She wants to get out on her own. She wants to go ahead and she wants to go now. And there was a bit of my own fear in that, of was she going to be okay and all that. But I had to recognize that that is not my journey. That's her journey. And I can't be in fear of her journey. That's just me. And I know it's a difference in age. But even with our children, we can't allow our personal fears to get in the way. Our personal fears are actually just going to stifle our parenting when it comes to our children. It's better to have faith and trust and do what we can than to be in fear for them, because it really just kind of stacks on top of stacks, if you get what I'm saying. And if it's for someone else, like even, my mother, she's constantly battling this immune disorder, and I can't be in fear of her and her life. The best thing that I can do is to be there for her, is to pray for her, is to send her healing and loving energy, is to let her know that I'm there supporting her best that I can and to my ability in that. But that's the best that I can do, because when it comes to other people, you can't control it. You can't control anything of that, but you can control what's going on within you and in your mind. And a lot of times it's just things running amok, because it's not as bad as it seems. One of the things that I read about is that fear is really something that we concoct completely in our head. We tell ourselves it's one thing, we tell ourselves it's another, we tell ourselves that it's going to go here and it's going to go there, and at the end of the road, it never happens how we had it in our head. How many times has something that you actually feared just actually happened as you saw it in your head from the jump? It generally doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So you really have to be more in love, in the energy of love, than in fear. See, fear actually has a relation to hate. And so if you are in fear, there is certain negativity that you're holding in that. You're not in your highest self. You're not in your highest vibration. You're not stemming yourself from the highest energy, which is love. So, I think that it's very important to recognize that the fear that you are encountering needs to be 100% dissipated through the energy of love. So send love. Give your daughter love. I give my mother love. I send my daughter love. She's out there doing her thing right now. That's all I can do. I can't be in fear of her. I cannot be in fear of what's going to happen. I can only be me, and I can only do the best that I can, and that's all. And so I digress. So I hope that answers your question, Miss Ash. And I want to say hey to Miss Mermaid Production for showing up here. Oh, maybe she left us. She's not responding. All right. So, okay. There we go. Okay, great. Fantastic. Thank you. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and go into our healing session and meditation. We are creeping up now on the end time. I think I've actually gone over. And so I'm going to have to kind of shorten my guided meditation. So I just want everybody to go ahead and get comfortable now as I'm getting my words together here. And so, of course, a guided meditation is superbly powerful. Visualization is very, very powerful. And this will all also be energized and infused with some healing so that it'll cut away the things that you don't need. All right? So I just want you to kind of sit and get a little comfortable. If you can, put the phone in your lap, sit back and relax, turn it up if you can, and just allow it to play. And I'm going to take you on a very small journey. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Breathe in and hold. And then slowly breathe out. So we're going to take a journey to an ancient sacred garden. You can paint it however you feel, but it's going to be the most beautiful garden you've ever seen. No matter what, you can't go wrong. Within this garden, you're going to ground yourself. You're going to ground yourself, and you're going to release those things that you fear. You're going to let go of those things that are not serving you. The second part of our journey is going to take you until the well of love. The well of love is where we stem from. It is the source of our very existence. And we spoke about how love is the best way to combat fear. This is not limited to self-love. This is not limited to loving someone else. It's all love. So whatever facet that you can use love, use it. Allow that vibration of love to shatter that fear. If you love yourself so much, whatever your goal is, whatever your desire is, whatever your mission is, whatever your drive is, whatever it is that you're going for, because you love yourself so much, you're not going to let fear take it from you. And if you have a problem with finding enough love for yourself, and this is not uncommon, you're definitely not alone in that. But if you have a problem there, then find a love for something, a love for success, a love for reaching that destiny, a love for receiving the gift that has been holding for you, what that feels like for you. Find a way to use the love energy to propel you past the fear. I'm hoping that you all are following me in that. Okay. All right. So let's take some more deep breaths. We're going to go ahead now and start the journey. So please close your eyes. This helps to keep your imagination clear, to help you be focused. So as you close your eyes, take a deep breath in and a slow release out. This time I want you to breathe in love. Deep breath in. Feel love vibration flow within you. And then I want you to breathe out all the fear that you can muster, all the anxiety, all the anguish, until there is nothing left. Your body should feel limp. Breathe in more love. And release again the fear. I want you to begin painting the picture of that beautiful garden that we spoke of early on. Similar to the Garden of Eden, perhaps. Or it could just be your sacred garden. It's all within us. It's an internal thing anyway. But I want you to make it as beautiful as you possibly can. Hold nothing back. Allow your imagination to run and wander. And as the picture becomes clear, I want you to take very big breaths in so that you can become very aware of where you are, very present. Breathe out. Okay. Now I want you to take a walk down the narrow path that's in front of you. The garden is all around you. And I want you to pay attention to all of the flowers that you see. The animals that are around, the insects that are fluttering. Pay very close attention to the colors that you see there. The vibration that you feel there. All right. Now, pay attention to the colors of the flowers, because this is something we're going to talk about. It's going to really tell us where your fear lies in case you're having some trouble kind of pinpointing it. What color do you see the most that stands out in this picture for you? What insect do you see around you, or animal do you see around you the most? And paying attention to those two very important things we'll discuss very much more in depth later on. Blessings, God is Vajna. Thank you for joining. We are doing a guided meditation, my dear. If you have a moment, can you go ahead and relax a little bit? We're in a secret garden. We just began, so you may still be able to jump in. And so in this garden, I want you to take very close attention again to the greenery, how vibrant it is, the sky, how blue it is. And I want your eyes to be drawn close to yourself. What are you wearing? What color is it? All these things make a very big difference, and I'll discuss it later, but pay close attention. Feel your vibration here. And in your environment, I want you to look for that golden tree and start heading towards it. This golden tree has roots with our humanity. And so I want you to go and sit up under this tree and connect with it. As Goddess Gaia is going to release some of the fears that you have been holding on to, she is going to relinquish them from you. And hopefully you are willing to receive the blessing that she is going to give you in return. Continue to breathe in and continue to breathe out as you are getting comfortable under this tree. Place your hands on the ground. Feel the roots beneath your hands. Take a deep breath in of the air around this tree. Through your hands, release your fears. When you deep breath in, breathe in the love. Allow everything to circulate and cleanse you. And as you're doing this part, I'm going to now send out energy to everyone here. Thank you all for coming. And as that is going, I want you to take your left hand and put it onto your heart. As your right hand is still on the roots and you are releasing, I want you to feel the flow of love through your heart. Our heart is more than just the thing that beats within us. It is the bridge to our divinity and to Creator. And so when you acknowledge this, you are able to live more in that loving space. Deep breath in, and then slow release. With your left hand on your heart, I want you to really focus now more on your heart. Does it feel light? Does it feel heavy? Whichever it feels, I want you to take note of that mentally. Feel the blood flow. Feel the energy flow. And then we want to ask the God within you, your God self, of course, to activate the deepest connection to the energy of love, to that well of love that we spoke of earlier on. Sometimes we forget that we can connect to it, and so easily nonetheless, because it is ours to connect to. Deep breath in. Release that breath. As the God within has connected you now to that source of love, the well of love, I want you to remember that it is yours to call upon when you are in need, as you are fighting to cut away these fears that you are battling within. And to never forget that the God within you is here to remind you, is here to support you. The connection is there to keep you on task and to keep you on target, and it will never forsake you. I want you to take your right hand now from the roots of the ground and place it on your heart. So now you have two hands on your heart. And feel the love of yourself. To overcome fear would mean that you would have to love yourself so much that you will let nothing stand in your way. Not even fear. Not yourself, not any circumstance. Your destiny is your birthright, and you will not allow fear to take it from you. Deep breath in and release. I'm going to count to 3, and I want you to open your eyes, feeling renewed, feeling the energy flowing through you, feeling the love circulate, feeling the fear removed. 1. Deep breath in and hold it. 2. Deep breath out. 3. And as you open your eyes, I want you to really take note of everything that's going on around you, within you, in your mind. Do you feel the heaviness of the fear that you had before, whatever fear that may be? Do you feel the love energy flowing within you? I want you to acknowledge everything because it's very important. And if you have something that you want to leave a feedback on in regards to what you felt or you saw, please share it. This is an open forum situation. It's not just me talking. So the energy that I set within all of you is a fear removal Reiki energy. And it is set to kind of reset for you every day, as long as you are participating in the fear challenge. And so do stay on top of that. And if you ever need more motivation, I'll be posting as much motivation in regards to fear. I'm looking at our clock. I'm running out of time. I'll be posting more motivation in regards to fear. And if you need something more, if you have a question, feel free to DM me. I am here for you. And if you have anyone who is also going through a certain amount of fear and you want to talk with someone else, bring them on board and have them to be your fear partner, your fear accountability partner is what I like to call it. It's been working well for me. I did do it myself a little bit before bringing it to you all. And it's very gratifying when you have someone that you can say that's cheering you on, that's accomplishing things just as much as you are accomplishing things. So together we can do this, guys. Like, ladies, there is nothing that's holding us back but ourselves, and we are destined for so much more. And I'm here, and you're here, and we're here, and we're going to do the same. So I hope this has been helpful. If not, look at the replay if you can when it's available, and inbox me with questions once again. Share if you're willing, and I send all of my love to you. Ashe. Thank you, Ash. I appreciate that, sweets. You're always such a blessing yourself. I love your interaction. It's a beautiful thing. Ashe, Kali Angel. Kali, Sun Angel. I always forget the sun in that. I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. And if you want some of the files, the music that we're listening to, you want pictures, you want more information, DM me your email address, and I'll go ahead and send it over to you, to your inbox. So, all my love.